The Thugnificent fail of Sir Boosie Badazz.
Oh boy, here we go, you guys. Boosie is currently going through it right now. Not only is the man out 600,000, but the man is also being called a snitch. It's all fun and games when you're speaking on somebody else's situation. After Gucci Mane got on the record and detailed the robbery with Pooh Shiesty, Boosie, amongst other people, spoke out and called him a snitch. Boosie said, "Say, big bruh, you should never have said anything about Pooh Shiesty for the law to get involved." Even though Pooh Shiesty was trying to use Gucci's signature to get off the contract, Boosie absolutely showed Gucci no mercy.
Gucci shouldn't have told shit. He should not identify them for shit. You know what he should have said when they came in this bitch?
Well, this week, looks like the tables have officially turned and Boosie is out here fighting for his life. Now, you guys all know the story. Boosie apparently paid a couple guys $600K thinking they were going to get him a pardon with Trump. However, turns out those guys were janky, they were fake, they had absolutely no connection to Trump or anybody involved in the process. So now Boosie is suing these guys and he's crashing out. The man wants his money back expeditiously. He went on Twitter a couple days ago to list all the names of everybody that might be involved in this. Now, keep in mind, paying for a pardon is a bribe, which is illegal. So people are saying, Boosie, you can't be naming these people's names out here like this. Boosie tweeted out a couple days ago, Lauren Lumar, Mike Cernovich, Jack Posobiec, Erica Kirk. Erica Kirk? The fuck she got to do with it? Mike Johnson, Nancy Mace, not Nancy, Andy Biggs. Can the names above that I'm fucking snitching on please make a truthful statement about having a contract or no contract with Berkman and Wall about my pardon process? 600K was taken from me with your names mentioned in emails by these people. Thanks. Hey man, time out, Boosie. What are we doing here, brother? This is a public platform. These guys could get in trouble. You could potentially put a case on these guys for bribery. They can get investigated and end up in prison. Now, some of these guys responded back to Boosie saying, "Hey, big dog, I don't know what the fuck you got going on, but I have nothing to do with that shit." Lauren Luma responded back to Boosie saying, "I'm sorry, who the fuck is this nigga?" She said, "I don't get involved in this type of work and have no idea what you're talking about. AKA, stop fucking snitching. No offense, but I also have no idea who you are and have never heard of your case. Seems like Berkman is using people's names without permission to get business. That's also not how the pardon process works. You can't pay for a pardon, silly. Not sure who told you that's how it works." AKA, Boosie, dog, you're making the block hot for everybody. Now, a lot of fans called out Boosie for this. People said, wait, how are you calling Gucci a snitch over a business situation, but yet you're out here naming names over your own business situation? That's a little hypocritical. Well, the last 3 days, every day on Instagram, Boosie is getting hit with a barrage of messages from fans. And every single day, he's crashing out on video. Here's day one.
Do you know they got ignorant ass in my DM talking about I broke the code? Talking about I got down on the white people. This ain't no gangster shit. Ain't nobody pulling no straps on me. This is a contract. If you don't abide by the contract, you get sued. That's business. That's how this shit go. Y'all some ignorant motherfuckers. It's just like a record contract. If you sign a contract and if you don't abide by that contract, you get sued. Y'all think I'm too gangster to sue motherfuckers. Man, y'all some ignorant motherfuckers, dog. Nigga, you don't abide by that contract, your ass get sued.
Lights up, mics up. Let's get these likes up. Hit that subscribe. Gang, Boosie deserves everything he's getting. Boosie deserves to get scammed, be scammed, and to be called the worst thing you could call a man of Boosie's stature, a snitch. All of it applies when you live your life by these dastardly outdated street codes, and we are going to get to that. But what's going on with Boosie is Boosie went down that road where a lot of dudes go, where they want something for nothing, and they think that everything can be bought in dollars without any sense behind it. Boosie got scammed for $600K by two shysters apparently, but the reason Boosie could fall for it because one, Boosie actually has to be a shyster himself to even believe that this shysty would work. And for two, the man at the center of the scam, which is he who shall not be named, your president and mine, apparently, Mr. Donald J. Trump, was 100% appearing to take bribes for pardons. Therefore, Boosie thought he was in good company and it was a whole den of thieves, but there was no honor. Apparently, these two guys, they out-scammed the scammer and they got Boosie for $600K, which Boosie is now asking back. He's asking for it back, and he wants some justice for his money. Now, let me explain to you what's going on with Boosie. And by under his own codes, 100% the people calling Boosie a snitch to a degree. You got to understand what that actually means, okay? In our world, we've determined that snitches are people who do crimes together that actually turn around and tell on the person committing the crime. Now, Boosie will be first to tell you that this is a business deal, and yes, it is business deals, but Boosie, some business deals are sketchy. Some of them are illegal, like buying a pardon. Boosie, you're going out here saying you paid for an illegal act, and you want your money back. It's like buying bad crack. You bought 2 keys of crack, and it was baby powder, and now you're in the courts trying to get your real crack back or your money. Don't work like that, Boosie. You paid for an illegal pardon. That's supposed to be under the table. Now, we've heard rumors and all kind of rumblings that $1 million, those pardons were getting people $1 million. We've heard the Tiger King say he had his $1 million ready to pay, and others. We've heard that other people were openly paying $1 million. Well, first of all, you already started at a loss because it was already a scam because you weren't even paying $1 million. You put $600K up trying to get a discount pardon. So right there, you were already on par to get lumped up and scammed up like you did. Very Thugnificent of you trying to get a low cut deal on something that is very significant in your life. Okay, you do want that pardon. So let's get there. Why was Boosie even in trouble with the gun charges? I'm going to try to wing this and try to remember, but I believe he was at a cookout and someone went live and allegedly this person did this on purpose. They're saying he did it on purpose. I don't know if the person did it on purpose or not, but he went live. He's scanning a party and he shows Boosie with a gun in his waistband. If I'm not mistaken, that's what happened with Boosie's situation with his gun charge. If I'm not mistaken, if it's something else, let me know in the comments. But I believe that that's what the charge was for. He's a convicted felon. He's not supposed to have any guns on his person. Now, you may say, Challz, it's an honest mistake. Boosie didn't wave the gun, he didn't show the gun, he didn't do anything. Some guy set him up and put him on live. Well, Boosie's a convicted felon. There are certainly amount of people that he could pay to carry that weapon for him. I think Boosie is just a straight up N-word, which is neither here nor there, but he's a street person. And at the end of the day, a straight up street person don't want to trust their lives in someone else's hands. He don't want to give his man the burner. He don't want to have the security with the burner. Boosie doesn't know these people at this cookout allegedly. So he was there. I believe it was an appearance that he was being paid to be there for some reason. And Boosie wanted his own weapon on his own person. So he allegedly had the weapon on him, allegedly, and it was notified of the police that Boosie had this weapon. I believe that's where the charge came from. Now, right there, you already messed up your own self. That is your own fault, Boosie. You shouldn't have had a weapon on your hip. I'm just gonna be honest. Right there, you already messed up. This is where things start to go left. Boosie's a 40-plus-year-old man, and he's still out here doing childish mistakes. You know you can't be seen with this weapon under any circumstances, but he was caught with the weapon. So that elicited a charge. So therefore, Boosie was trying to fight for his life to get rid of this charge. Whatever the gun charge was for, he's fighting for his life for it, okay? Now, instead of doing what Lil Wayne did and putting on that hat and going to meet Trump directly or whatever, this was after Wayne got pardoned. I guess Wayne allegedly put up the money and got it secured and got his pardon, whatever. Boosie tried to go a different route instead of right to the source, right? He went to these two guys who gassed him up, whoever these two guys are. I got a whole thing right here. I'm going to read it for you. But these two guys gassed up Boosie that they can make this pardon happen if he only forwarded them $600K, okay? Let me read this and we're going to have a conversation. But to me, in every step of the way, Boosie did the wrong thing every single possible way. All of this is Boosie's own fault. He deserved what he got, and this is how it ends up, okay? Rapper Boosie Badazz, legal name Torrance Hatch, allegedly paid $600K to conservative political operatives Jacob Wall and Jack Berkman of J.M. Berkman and Associates to secure a presidential pardon from Donald Trump, but never received it. Now, you got to understand, I'm going to take you into the world of inward logic. First of all, these guys have a firm, right? Right there, you already think they're legit. They're lawyers. Why would they lie to me? There's no reason for them to lie to me. They're not going to ever scam me. They're lawyers. This is how some of the biggest scams on earth have happened, right? People like Bernie Madoff, who have this appearance of stature. They're above bar. They're beyond reproach, and they're safe with your money. Your money's safe in their hands. They're going to double it, triple it. It's greed. And people don't do their due diligence. And some of these people just are natural born scammers, and they're just that good. Boosie looked at these two guys of J.M. Berkman and Associates. He automatically assumed that they're legit and therefore started to enter into this weird-ass deal. So let me continue. The failed pardon deal. The promise. Wall and Berkman presented themselves as having direct access to Trump and claimed the pardon was all but guaranteed, which would have wiped out Boosie's federal gun conviction and preventing his sentencing. Now, let me just say this. They probably are connected with Trump. They probably do have insider knowledge. They probably know these guys like the back of their hand. They probably have done dealings with them before. Now, let's just start here. I told you Boosie only paid $600K. It probably wasn't enough. They probably made some assumptions that they can get the thing done for less, and they did it. Right? Far as we know, most people that we've heard before, the rumblings and tumblings, this, that, and the third, it was $1 million. So they might have approached the guy for this or whatever, and the guy never did it. Or they really had no intentions of approaching him because they knew he wasn't going to do it for that amount of money. And they realized that Boosie is a street dude. He probably won't snitch and out him like they thought that Gucci Mane was supposed to do with Pooh Shiesty. So they probably thought that we'll keep this under the rug. All he's going to do is get mad, stomp his feet. We'll disappear. We won't hear from him again. This thing will be over. He'll eat it, right? He's a dumb rapper. We don't got to worry about dumb rappers going to the cops. Well, they were wrong because Boosie actually went to the cops and kept it pushing. But let me continue. The typo clause. Boosie signed a contract in September containing a refund provision stating he could get part of his money back if he didn't receive a pardon by January 31st, 2025. The date was later acknowledged as a typo that was intended for January 31st, 2026. Gang, I can't make this shit up. Gang, listen. Boosie made a typo on his own contract. Boosie made a typo on his own contract. Okay? He entered into this. He entered into this thing last year, September. Gang, I can't make this shit up. Boosie signed a contract in September containing a refund provision stating that he could get part of his money back if he didn't receive a pardon by January 31st, 2025. Gang, it was already 2025. It was September 2025. So he can't get a refund back at all. He can't get a refund back at all because of a so-called typo. The date was later acknowledged as a typo that was intended to say January 31st, 2026. The scam. The lobbyist reportedly called Boosie around New Year's Day, claiming the pardon was signed, but the White House just hadn't announced it yet. They're getting them good, gang. This scam is legit. However, the pardon never materialized, and I've been scammed before. People lying this, that, and the third, and saying, oh, yeah, stringing you on this, that, and the third, and you believe them because of their stature, right? But end of the day, it was always a scam. They're going to keep taking your calls. They're going to keep giving you hope that this is happening, this, that, and the third, because the scam is long term. They got to keep feeding you. They got to keep making you feel like this is going to work. Just be patient. It's a long-term scam. It's a long-term hustle. So the actual outcome, Boosie appeared in federal court in January and was ultimately sentenced to time served, a $50,000 fine and 300 hours of community service, successfully avoiding further incarceration. So Boosie didn't even get the time he was trying to get the pardon for. Boosie really only had to pay $500. He had to pay $50K. Community service and time served. He literally basically beat the charge. This had nothing to do with Trump or any of that nonsense. Now Boosie was scared. He's an older gentleman. He don't want to go back to prison. It was a cross too much to bear for Boosie. So he decided to go try to take the easy way out and get a pardon from Trump. When you lay down with people like this kind of stuff can happen. You're laying down with people who are talking to a person who is a scammer himself. The president is a scammer himself. So there's definitely going to be some people you got to watch your back for. So they ran a hustle on him, a long-term hustle, gave him a wacky contract. I don't know who made the contract. I'm going to assume that they made it. Right? It's a typo. But at the end of the day, they didn't fulfill their end of the bargain. So that's why Boosie's here. Let me continue. The lawsuit and refund. Legal action. Because the pardon fell through, Boosie is pursuing legal action in an arbitration case against Wall and Berkman. The refund amount? Boosie is seeking to recover $300,000, exactly half of the $600K he paid, based on the clause in his contract. Though attorneys for the lobbyists argued the provision is invalid, they're not trying to pay him anything. The social media fallout. Boosie took his fight to social media, making public posts and revealing emails sent by the lobbying firm. Those emails named several prominent Republican and conservative figures, including Speaker of the House Mike Johnson and right-wing media personalities, as supposed advocates for his pardon. Boosie has openly asked these individuals if they were ever actually in contact with the lobbying agency regarding his case. Now, as far as I know, I've read that these two people, low-key, are kind of like the bottom of the barrel when it comes to this stuff. They threw a bunch of well-respected people's names in this email. Boosie don't understand. This is a long-term hustle. They were telling you anything you wanted to hear, Boosie. Anything you wanted to hear. None of these people on this paper had anything to do with this, Boosie. That $600,000 is not enough to go around for all the people that you're naming in the first place. So, no, they didn't have nothing to do with it. Now, Boosie don't understand that this was a hustle. So he's trying to drag all these names in it to give himself more leverage in the case. But Boosie, all these people are going to do is what they're doing is disavowing any knowledge of this scam. And they're telling you they don't know you. We don't know what you're talking about. And, sir, you can't pay for a pardon, sir. We don't understand why you think you can. Okay? So at the end of the day, we got Boosie out here trying to kind of guilt shame people that had nothing to do with it. And the only people that's really involved is Jacob and Jack. Those are the hustlers. Those are the scammers. You got scammed, sir. You got scammed for trying to do something illegal that you paid for. Now, the problem is his constituents. The people that ride for Boosie, that watch his movies and buy his records, they don't look kindly to the word snitching. So when you're a man of Boosie's stature and you get on the internet and start naming names, right? Be it business or otherwise, once you start naming names and implicating people in crimes, you at that point, sir, you have committed snitchery. At that point, under your own guidelines. This is why this snitching stuff is so... I got rid of all that stuff years ago. As you start growing up and understanding that all that snitch shit is just guys that's trying to manipulate you and use you and keep you under their wings by don't snitch, this, that, and the third, you understand that it's bullshit. Because a lot of them guys, 99% of them guys, when they get in some real trouble, they going to start telling, even if it's a little bit. Even if it's just a little bit, just a little clue, a light hint. That won't be repeated to the public if you just give us something. Give us something, man. Just give us something. Here goes some McDonald's. Here goes some fries, an apple pie. You want a milkshake or so? Here's a milkshake. There's your McDonald's. Give us something, man. Anything, and you get to go home. A lot of these guys want to go home. So all that running around, he's a rat, he's a snitch. Well, Boosie the last one to get that message because he's been talking that for years. He's still talking that he's a rat, he's a snitch. He's still going at people. He went at Gucci Mane for whatever, this, that, and the third. And Gucci Mane, by his own account, by what he believed in and he been touting for years, he snitched too, right? If you don't live by that code, then you can't be a snitch. And just this how it works. It's how it works. There's no such thing. Yeah, we got a little confused in the 90s and started hurting people that wasn't really involved with the street life. When a female or a male would see a crime and they would rightfully so go to the cops. Well, that person might end up missing. Okay, this, that, and the third for snitching. So it got a little, the lines got crossed and the signals got crossed and people started to hurt people because you're a snitch. Oh, she snitched, he snitched. Well, no, it's not about that. It's about people of your own ilk in your own situation. When they go and tell, that's a snitch, okay? So what happened was Boosie and Gucci Mane, they went against their own conglomerates by going against that. And once you learn that it's silly, you realize there's no way to snitch when I'm not riding with you in any kind of way. So at some point, people looked at Boosie and the people that he's so-called suing, they're looking at like, Boosie, this some street shit at this point because they scammed you. Now, Boosie does have a point. Let's just be honest. He got scammed out of over $500,000 by two white guys that's claiming, I'm assuming that they're white, they're claiming that they can get him a pardon. Yes, you're supposed to sue in that situation. It's a business deal. Boosie is correct. But once you go online and start naming all the people in the email, and you start naming these two guys, and you start putting them on blast online, that's not in the court no more. That's the court of public opinion. Now you're diming these people out. People are looking at that as snitching. It's that snitching. They're like, Boosie, you got hustled. Go handle your business like you're supposed to, right? You flamed Gucci, man, for the same thing. And let's be honest, it's kind of the same thing. It's over a contract. The only difference with Pooh Shiesty is Pooh Shiesty did it at duress. He did it with a gun, right? If there's no gun involved, this is a contract dispute. So the thing with Gucci thing, it's a contract dispute that turned into a robbery and kidnapping. So that's different. That's different on that instance. But at the same time, this is a business deal just like Gucci's. And Boosie can't see it that way. He's looking at that's some street shit. Well, is it? It is kind of street shit, but it's kind of not, because Pooh Shiesty wasn't in there just to rob him. He was in there to get a contract null and voided. A business deal. So they kind of both business deals, Boosie. It's kind of both business deals. Two successful businessmen going into the courthouse for a business deal. So Boosie, you got to look at it the same way that you looked at Gucci. Your shit is kind of the same. It's kind of the same. You're nutting up over a business deal. End of story. You're going before the man over a business deal. So they're looking at it like, when you breed this kind of shit on the internet, this ignorant shit, you're calling your people ignorant now, but you've bred this thing for 20 years. These are the people who follow you. You've bred this reputation off of being a guy who would never, quote unquote, snitch. You won't run to the law. He's like, I sued 9, 10 people a year. Yeah, are you sure? Because end of the day, suing people and outing them on the internet is two different things. Okay, it's two different things. So people are looking at it like, Boosie, you kind of low key, you're calling out a lot of names. You're calling out Erica, whatever her name is, and this, that, and the third, and you're bringing up people unattached to the situation. Not only that, you're physically going before the court system. His officers going to be involved. There's a lot going on. Like, these two guys could go to prison if you win. It's not a typical deal. So people are looking at it, and rightfully so. At the end of the day, if we peel back all the layers, it's a business deal, but even drug dealers make business deals, gang. That don't mean that the drugs is a good thing to be involved with. So Boosie is besmirching his name to the people that he has conditioned with this kind of criminal mind, with this don't snitch, don't go to the law. He's been doing this for years. He did it with Gunna, if I'm not mistaken. He did it with Gucci and anybody else, Tekashi 6ix9ine and anybody else who even remotely snitched or look like they snitched. Even with T.I., blew up the whole deal with T.I. over he might have possibly kind of snitched. Okay, so this is what you reap is what you sow. And Boosie is facing that now, and he's coming out trying to convince people that have already bought into this ignorant mind state that they're now somehow ignorant and ride the short bus because they're not jacking what you're doing. Boosie, you got to understand what's going on. You got hustled, you got scammed, you dipped into something that already got a big, ugly fish. The whole system that you're trying to manipulate for your own gain is full of sharks that don't do nothing but bite each other all day. The whole scene, that whole administration, these two lawyers, they're a part of it. These guys play for keeps. They play for big money. You're going to have a lot of trouble getting your money back with this case. And the fact that you only want half back is crazy because you're acknowledging a bullshit contract. End of the day, you can't make a contract for a pardon because you can't pay for a pardon, Boosie. So what are you trying to get half back for? The contract can't be honored at all because you ended a contract for a pardon, my G. You can't pay for a pardon. Now you can say they scammed me, didn't let it be known. They scammed you, I need the whole 600 back. That's the only way you can win this case. You can't say, well, only give me half because I'm going to honor the contract. Boosie, you can't make a contract for a pardon, my G. So the contract is null and void. So throw the contract out. All you're suing for now is $600K. All or nothing. You can't get half. You cannot get half, Boosie. Don't work like that. Because then at that point, that means they're honoring the contract, which has a typo on it. That's saying that they ain't got to give you shit. All right? I'm going to leave it at that, man. Let me know what you think in the comments, man. This is some Thugnificent shit, right? And I really understand that Boosie really is who he says he is. He doesn't think things through. He doesn't always have all the information, but he runs with shit. Just like with the Vlad deal. Ran with it. Before he thought it through, Boosie was getting $25K every time he sat down. decided he wanted 40. Vlad came back with 30. Boosie wasn't gonna go to 30. He said 35. Vlad said no. Boosie left it. Did his own movie. Did his own interview on Patreon and crickets. Now that whole Patreon is dead, and Boosie lost out on at least $100,000 a year going to Vlad TV. And he's back. He's doubling down because he doesn't want to look embarrassed to the public. Him, Rick Ross, all these guys who live their life in the public eye about what they have and what they do, this, that, and the third, and how gangster they are. These guys always face trouble at the end of the day trying to convince people that they're on the right side of this thug shit. It's weird shit. These niggas need to grow up and get better at their mind state and stop perpetuating all this street stuff every single day. If you just grow up and be a businessman, we won't have no issues. Businessmen don't wear guns on their hip, Boosie. They don't wear guns on their hips. They have security, armed security with weapons that'll take care of that, okay? That's just my advice to you, Boosie. You got to change the way you move. End of the day, man, that's all I got to say about this. Let me know what you think in the comments. CLBMG. Head on over to black-yeti.com. Let them know who sent you. They ship all over the continental U.S. Every Wednesday night, we go live on The What Show. The What Show is on vacation. We'll be back soon. I got a Patreon account. The Patreon is Challz Brown on Patreon. You can sign up for free. $3.99. I do put stuff on there for exclusive videos for members. There'll be a new one up today, okay? Also, the new This, That, and the Third merchandise is up. Salute to Diego, who designed the logo. The logo's up. The merch, we got cups, hats, aprons, all kinds of stuff, bandanas, hoodies, T-shirts. Tap in. That's at CLBMG.com, the CLBMG spread shop. Stuff is fire. I like it, all right? You're going to see a lot of it all over the place. So tap in with that. Last but not least, we got the new video, Peanut Butter Tim's. Tap in and watch that video. That's off the What Project. And we just shot a new video for Cruel Summer. If you part of the team that know what the What Project is, we did a dope-ass record last year. We going to put some new music on there and drop a deluxe. We moving, man. Listen, I'm going to catch y'all on that flip side. I'm out of here. Peace.
Look, mission impossible to drop a few lines without dropping old times when Southern Hill was still a gold mine. When pistol grips was my shit and I sold mine. When Alias was not a show and they told mine.
Elevate your mind with high quality THC infused products. BlackYeti.com. Black-Yeti.com.
CLB.
Get my coat, get my sheepskin, grab my wallet, get my pocket knife, and get that hat right there. We out. Grab my pocket knife too. Let's go. When I first came to the city, niggas didn't believe me. I just wanted to join a team and throw assist pass easily. 6 man off the bench, alley-oop pass freely. Suit up for one game and hope a scout might see me. But nah, niggas is greedy, wasn't rocking with him. Unplugged the scoreboard, put a lock on the gym. Told me to power forward, point guard at the rim. And left me with no center and a ball full of phlegm. Not knowing that I'm a dog, a Rottweiler within, with the heart of a pit bull that don't bark for pretend. My bites cut deep, break the bone and the skin. With the level of hustlenomics you do not comprehend. So first I took a block down on the west side end, and then secured a spot with some goons and some kin. And then sent out some flyers, let the games begin. And in 6 months time, the city like that's him. Oh yeah, he the one that moved the hustle to the verbs. And yeah, he the one that knocked the hustlers off the curb. And yeah, he the one that set up shop without a word. And he the one that got it cracking, and all he did was rapping by the Hooters. I kept killers from being shooters. Put a mic in a thug's hand, now he loyal like Pats fans. Take a man off the streets past the needles and crack cans. Promise mama to keep him safe, then put some food in his face and he'll kill for you. But I don't need him for that. Click like, click share, tell them bitches we back. Share the whole location, tell them niggas where we at. Cause we out here, we ain't the cheese, we the trap.